All right, traders. So London session. No. All right. They can put that on me. Hmm. All right, traders out there. So how are you all? So New York session has already started right now, and it has started for about 30 minutes ago. All right. So I just want to quickly prepare myself so that I can align myself with the overlap session when the London session will be joining the New York session by 2 o'clock. So as you can see, this is 1:31 right now. So um, I'm expecting price to, okay, don't let me say I'm expecting price to, I just want to actually firstly explain my trade idea to you so that you can also know how to actually, if not 100%, at least you understand how to read price action. All right, so combining it with supply and demand and liquidity concepts. Okay, so right now let me just get right into it. So I've already done my markups, but let me just quickly explain to you so that you can understand. So I start my analysis from the daily time frame. All right, so and if you have been following me, you would have observed that I actually projected this low. Okay, so and this low has, I mean, this demand zone has already respected this previous demand zone. This was around October 2025 last year. All right, so we don't know if price will keep pushing to the downside, because on the daily time frame price has been creating lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower highs, and at this level here, this is another low, and these are the point at which price is struggling to push to the upside or to the downside. So we don't know where price is actually heading to right now, but at least since this is daily time frame, let me just apply my trading strategy based on what price is currently doing. So I go down to the 4 hour time frame to mark up my 4 hour supply zone. So I have my 4 hour supply zone. As you can see on the screen right now, I have my 4 hour supply zone that price has already respected right here, and I also have 4 hour supply zone that price has already reacted to, and you can see that I identify my demand zone as well. Okay, so this is my 4 hour demand zone right there, whereby this is at the point price actually shifted from bearish, because price was creating lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low, then this is the last lower highs. So this is the level at which price failed to push to the downside. All right, so since this is our last lower highs and price actually move all the way up above this high, it means there is a market shift around here. All right, so and when there is a market shift, I want to believe that we should be looking for a buy settle, but price has already respected this demand zone. All right, because when price actually came all the way up here, price find its way all the way down to the demand area at this level right there and push to the upside. All right, well, it did not break this high, right? So but currently, so we can see that price is still kind of in a bearish trend. All right, so if I go down to 1 hour time frame right now, and let us see how price is actually reacting. So if you look at it very well, you see that price is also creating more like a lower highs and lower low, all the way from here, lower highs, lower low. Let's imagine that, okay, this is not a new low, right? This is not a new low from our daily perspective, right? So this is not a new low, so price is struggling to push to the downside. So we don't know, probably price is going to buy or sell right now, but because right now I can say that price is more like consolidating in this zone. Okay, price is consolidating in this zone, because if you look at it very well, you see that all the way from here like this, price has not really make a significant push to the upside or to the downside. But let us just align ourselves with what price is currently doing. Okay, so on 1 hour time frame, you can see that price is creating lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, something like that, right? So and currently, let us identify, I have already identified my demand zone and supply zone, isn't it? So and since price is actually in a downtrend currently, price is in a downtrend currently, because price is creating lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower highs. Then I want to expect price to come and break this low. Okay, and the another confluences that I have is that there is a liquidity pool that is sitting below here. Okay, because liquidity pool is more like when we identify double bottoms or double highs. Okay, you see that price actually came all the way up here, reverse a little bit, creating one low and create another low. In fact, it is more than 4 lows that is here. So this is a liquidity pool that I have identified that I want to expect price to come and sweep. Okay, since price is in a bearish momentum. All right, so and right now, based on this 1 hour time frame right now, how do we enter this trade? So if I want to actually sell this market, okay, you can see that I have already identified my my 1 hour supply zone. Okay, so this is, and the reason why this is a valid supply zone is that we have 1 hour break of structure here, and we also have an external 1 hour break of structure. Okay, so hold on, so this is another 1 hour break of structure to the downside, isn't it? So this is a valid supply zone. So if I want to be looking to sell price from this zone, from either this zone or this zone, what am I going to be expecting? I'm going to be expecting price to either come and retest this zone before I sell to the downside, or price should come and respect this zone before I sell to the downside. But that is going to the time that by 2 o'clock, when it is overlap session, the timing is going to determine where the position I'm going to enter, either this or this. Okay, but let me just go down to lower time frame, which is 15 minutes, to see how price is actually reacting to at this zone right there. So you can see that this is 15 minutes time frame, right? This is 15 minutes time frame, and what I'm actually expecting right now is that price should actually come all the way up here before I actually sell to the downside. Okay, but I think that I need to actually confine my market structure shift, because if I go down to 5 minutes right now, what price is actually currently doing is that at 5 minutes, okay, what price is actually currently doing is that it's creating higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher low. So I want to expect price to actually create another high. So what I'm going to be expecting price to do is, when it goes to this level somewhere around here, okay, I want to see price create with a rejection of a selling candle. I want to see a strong momentum of candle that is going to reject at this zone. Okay, that is okay. I'm actually seeing something right now. Okay, so let me just, since this is 5 minutes and currently this is a minus 5 minute supply zone right there, so let me just mark this out. Okay, in fact, price has already go above this 5 minutes supply zone, right? But okay, so let me just see how price is going to react. Let me just leave this at this zone right there. Okay, so 5 minutes supply zone, isn't it? So since we have this zone right there, but what I actually wish price to do is that I want price to actually come all the way up here, and if it does not come all the way up here, that is going to simply mean that probably price wants to respect these fair value gaps that we have right here. Okay, because this is a fair value gap. So let me delete this 5 minutes supply zone. Okay, so this is a fair value gap. Let me just write it there. So 15 minutes FVG. Okay, so, and in fact, one thing that I'm actually noticing, on price right now is that you can see that this selling candle that is currently forming is not a strong, it is not an engulfing selling candle, right? It is not an engulfing selling candle, and you can see that there is a buyer's momentum that is actually active at this candle right there, because you see, if I go down to 5 minutes, you can see that currently price is buyers are taking over price right now. Buyers are taking over price, isn't it? So you can see that so I just have to wait. I just have to wait, because that is something that I believe that I need to do right now before I actually enter this trade. Okay, so, and let us just see how this is going to play out. So we have about 7 minutes for the New York and London session, overlap session, to start. All right, so, and currently I'm seeing a signal that price is going to sell. All right, and you can see that this particular candle that just formed right here, this liquidity candle that just formed right here, okay, that is a liquidated candle, right? Because buyers was actually pushing price to the upside and they just pushed the price to the downside. And currently you can see this strong momentum that is forming right there, this red candle, I mean this black candle, that is my selling candle, right? So you can see that this is a very strong candle, signifying to us that sellers are actually, they are entering the market right now. But my confidence still remain that I want my most desired position for price to come and respect before the overlap session is going to start is this level right there. So, but I don't know how price is going to react. I don't know. So let us see, because I want to ensure that I follow through how price is going to react very well today. Okay, I'm not at work right now, so I want to give my time into how price is going to react today, because I know that something good is coming. I know that something good is coming, really. So let us see how this is going to play out. Okay, traders, the overlap session has already started right now. So anytime from now we should be expecting liquidity pumping into the markets. All right, so since this is 2 o'clock right now, what should we be expecting? All right, so I'm still expecting price to actually push to the upside. All right, although I have seen one conferences with this liquidity candle right here, but should I say that I'm not satisfied with that? I'm not satisfied with that, because based on 15-minute time frame, even though based on 15-minute time frame, this is a valid supply zone right there. This is a valid supply zone here. So, and this fair value gap is not really something I can consider on this trade right now. It's not something I can consider. So I think I should be looking for entry around this 15-minute supply zone. Let me just mark it out. 15-minute supply zone. So peradventure, if I enter the trade somewhere around there, okay, so my stop loss will be above this zone. So it can be above this candle a little bit like this, but I just want to be on the safe side. So I'm going to set my TP, my stop loss all the way up here. Yeah, I'm going to set my stop loss all the way up here, because price might actually come all the way up here to come and retest this zone as well. So I've given my stop loss a breathing room before I actually enter the trade. So let us see how this is going to play out. So explain what is currently happening right now in the financial market live to you. So I said price is creating higher highs, higher low, higher highs. Now price has been consolidating all the way at this zone right here. Price has been consolidating. So now when price is consolidating like this, okay, you don't want to enter trade. Okay, so because if you don't understand what price is actually doing right now, then there's this word that my mentor usually say, that if you are unable to spot liquidity, then you are most likely to be the liquidity. and that is my mentor, the trading gig. All right. So, and right now I can identify what price is currently doing. I know that price is actually consolidating right now, and it is not advisable that I should enter this trade right now. So what I'm going to be expecting to for price to do right now is that price should clear all this liquidity above here. It should clear it all the way up here, somewhere around here. So, and my trade idea is going to align with this financial market right now. Then I can look to sell the currency. So this is just a tip for you to understand how liquidity actually work. All right, so when you see price consolidating like this, you must ensure that you wait for price to actually break out of that consolidation before deciding on what you want to do. And right now I have waited for another 25 minutes waiting for price to actually come to my entry. So I believe that trading is more about waiting for the right setup to come to you regardless of the market condition. And another thing that I even observe is that when you come to lower time frame like this, okay, there are so much noises. I mean, there are so much noise that you are going to be seeing, unlike these liquidity pools right there. But let us assume that we are on 15 minutes, even on 15 minutes. All right, even on 15 minutes or 1 hour, even on 15 minutes right now, we might say that okay, price is consolidating if you actually know how to read it. But when you are working with 15-minute time frame, all right, when you are working with 15-minute time frame, you will not really see a lot of candle, unlike when you are on 5 minutes time frame. All right, so you will not really see a lot of candle. So, and that is why it is very best that if you don't know how to trade the financial markets, you should not use the lower time frame. You should stick to probably 1 to 2 time frame, because based on my own trading strategy, I'm applying top-down analysis. And you know that I started from daily time frame, I went down to 4 hour, I went down to 1 hour, I went down to 15 minutes, and I went down to 5 minutes to look for my entry. So my top-down analysis is looking at charts, okay, envisioning price movement from higher time frame, and looking for my entry at the lower time frame, because again, my mentor usually say that whatever happens on the higher time frame must have first happened in the lower time frame, and that is what top-down analysis is all about. So if I want to trade 1 hour time frame, I must ensure to actually catch the movement, because the movement is going to start at lower time frame. It's not going to start at 1 hour time frame. So if you learn how to read the chart very well, then you are going to know how to actually follow the footprint of price, and thereby you'll be able to envision where price is going. All right, so that is something that I want to share to you. So right now you see that price is still consolidating. I'm not going to do anything until price break out of this consolidation, and I hope that price broke all the way, come all the way up here before I enter this trade. So that is one thing that I want you to understand. So let us just wait for to see how price is going to react. So now you can see that liquidity has been swept below this consolidation area right now. Okay, so, and this is a good signal that price is, sellers are beginning to enter the market right now. So now the next thing that I'm going to expect is price to, because when it is consolidation like this, price will ensure that it sweep liquidity above and below that liquidity zone. All right, so I'm going to expect price to come and sweep this liquidity as well. Okay, so when price sweep this liquidity, then my entry will be somewhere around there. So let us see. I just want to ensure that I follow this trading all the way from A to Z. All right, that is what I want to do. I want to ensure that I follow this trading from A to Z. So let's see the results. Okay, I'm still waiting patiently for price to come and sweep this high. Really, I'm still waiting for price to come and sweep this high. If price did not sweep this high, I'm not going to enter this trade. Yeah, I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to stand by that. If price doesn't sweep this high, I'm not trading. So, but I know that price is going to sell. I know that. I have that conviction, and based on my trading plan and based on the data that I have built, I know that price is going to sell. I know that for sure. I know that for sure. So, okay, let us wait. I'm waiting for price. I'm waiting for price. In fact, this consolidation is I can extend this consolidation to this area right there. Yeah, I can extend it like this. So this is a liquidity being built up. It's being built up, really. So I think I should just wait enough. And this is 3 o'clock already. So this is 1 hour past the overlap session. So, and sincerely, I expect price to have started pumping right now. But and you can see that, and in fact you can see that price has not really moved significantly. It has not moved significantly. So, and what do I mean by that is that price has not really moved all the way down, aggressively to the downside. So, and the one that actually happened inside this consolidation is a trap. Because I know that the mistake that most beginner trader, even when I started, is that when I see a strong candle being formed like this, I'll just jump into trade. So, well, I think that I have learned my lessons, and I should stay disciplined to wait for the right setup to come to me, really. So I don't want my emotion to control me at this point in time so that I can lose. I want to be disciplined to, for this trade idea to align with my trading plan before I take this setup. So traders, I'm still waiting. Let us wait together. Traders, there are so many manipulation in the financial markets, and you must not be part of that manipulation. All right. So if you look at this price right now, you see that I have not entered this trade. I'm still waiting for price to come and clear this liquidity. You can imagine that I've been waiting for an hour plus right now. Okay, for an hour plus right now, and price has not really moved significantly. Although price is reacting, I'm seeing sellers activity entering the market, but I cannot enter anywhere around here because I can get stopped out. All right. So now, and what is going to confirm that sellers has already enter into this market is that this is our last low, right? This is our last this is price created lower highs, lower low, right? So I expect price to create another lower highs. So if sellers has already enter this financial market fully, I'm going to expect sellers to break this low to create another break of structure. So this is something that I'm actually expecting price to form for me, and currently price has not really aligned 100% to my trading plan, because what price did around there is, all right, sorry, let me just zoom my screen. Okay, so what price actually did around there is liquidity sweep. Okay, can you see that this candle did not close with a strong with the body of the candle? It actually closed with a wick, right? So, and that is liquidity sweep, and I want to believe that this is what the manipulation that is currently going on right now. They want to actually clear all this liquidity. Okay, now one thing is that after they clear all the liquidity below here, I think the liquidity, the stop losses that was wiped out around there, the liquidity is not much for sellers to push the price down. All right, so and what they just did again is that they clear all this liquidity below here, and they want to use this liquidity to clear all the liquidity above here as well. Okay, and after that I can look for my sell opportunity. So this is me breaking down, you know. In fact, if you have learned so much about trading, you will understand that there are only three phases in the market. All right, which I'm going to say buying, selling, and consolidation. Or let me say price can either go in an uptrend or in the downtrend or in a consolidation. And another let me say another language that we usually say that we usually call these three phases is manipulation, distribution, and kini brother manipulation. I remember that. I don't answer my brother. So the three phases is accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. Okay, so what is currently going on right here is, which I can call price is in an accumulation phase. So price has been accumulating liquidity pools around here. Okay, so and what actually happened below here is manipulation. Okay, so we have what is it called, we have accumulation, then we have manipulation, that is liquidity sweep, and then after that, after we have another liquidity sweep above here, then we have the main distribution to the downside, which is going to be massive. Traders, I'm eagerly waiting for price to react. I'm eagerly waiting for price to react like I envision it. And if this trade really play out, man, I'm going to buy something for myself. Yeah, I'll buy Hollandia yogurt. I'll buy Hollandia yogurt and and chicken pie. Quality chicken pie. So traders, I have changed my trade bias. Yeah, and I actually noticed something that that actually give me the heads up to actually enter this trade. Now let me quickly explain to you. Okay, I know that this video is is getting long, but if you want to actually learn, you are going to see the result of this trade. So right now, what I actually observe is that I actually see that when price was actually coming in the downtrend at 5 minutes, price was creating lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So this is the last low, this is the last 5 minutes supply zone that we have before price break to the downside. Now that being said, it means that we have 5 minutes supply zone here, and this liquidated candle that we have here is where liquidity was swept, right? And also we have, price was making higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher low. So this is our last low. This is at the point this is at the point at which price failed to continue to move to the upside, isn't it? So since this is our last low, and you can see that when price was actually consolidating around here, price break this low, which gave us 5 minutes market shift, right? Which gives us 5 minutes market shift. And after that, immediately there is a massive sell to the downside like this. Okay, sorry. So price find its way all the way back to this 5 minute supply zone right there. Okay, so this is what I actually discovered, and that I believe that that should be, you see, the reason why I actually adjusted my bias is that I actually had to look at what price is doing very well, because I know that it is already New York and London overlap session. It has already started. So me waiting for price to come and retest this 15-minute supply zone, is going to take like, I didn't see it as a realistic target that price is going to come and retest again. I didn't see it that way. So, and because I have seen a market shift that happened right there, I've seen liquidity sweep, and I believe that that is enough for price to actually continue selling to the downside. So I have already entered this trade, and I am just hoping for price to, I know that this trade is going to be a sell trade, and I've already entered this trade, and I'm going to keep my belief that this is going to be a win trade. Yeah, I'm going to keep my belief that way. Okay, so let us see how this is going to play out. Okay. So right now I am in a little bit of drawdown. Yeah, I'm currently running at loss. I'm running at loss, yo. Yeah, ṣàánú mi o. Ní live streaming. But sincerely, I'm in a drawdown right now because price has entered my stop loss zone already. So, but it is what it is, because I know that I'm not trading based on my emotion. I know that for sure, because um, all my confluences aligns with this trading setup. Because what I said earlier about the market shift is that whatever is going to happen on the higher time frame must first happen on the lower time frame. That is for sure. And I already see liquidity sweep above here, and I also see a market shift in trend around here as well. So when I see this, sincerely, and I also see a very strong selling candle right here, and that already confirmed to me that it is time to actually sell this currency. And sincerely, that is my confluences, and my end is up, my end is clean. So I know that I'm trading with my right trading system. I'm not trading based on emotion. I'm not chasing any candle. I'm trading based on my trading plan. So price might, get into my stop loss zone, but that doesn't mean that I should not leave the trade for me to actually see the result. Okay, so, and I also explained that if price doesn't have enough liquidity to push the price to the right direction, okay, there is high tendency that, okay, many traders is going to get stopped out. Okay, because price actually move when liquidity has been swept. All right, price actually move when liquidity has been swept. So that is one thing that is very, very important. Okay, so price doesn't just move randomly. Price move based on structure, and I know that my trading plan is a structured trading system, which I am actually applying to this trading setup right now. Okay, so, and I just believe that this is going to be a win trade for me. I have that strong belief. Okay, I have that strong belief because I'm not trading based on my emotion. That is one thing that I want you to know. All right, so it is more than 30 minutes right now that I've been waiting for the right trading setup to come to me. So, and when the right trading setup appears, there should be a, when you see something, you cannot pretend that you did not see it. So I actually see what I'm actually trading, and it gives me the conviction to enter the trade. So let us just expect pumping to the downside anytime soon. There's going to be a big pumping to the downside anytime soon. All right, so I just wish that I should just wait to see how price is going to just relax to do. Okay, and right. Okay, so I'm just waiting really. Now I'm actually seeing I'm actually seeing positive signal. Okay, so because we have internal break of structure here. Okay, let us just call it internal break of structure. All right, let us call it internal break of structure. Then as you can see that this is the 5 minutes supply zone of that structure, isn't it? So, and you can see that currently price has respected that zone, right? So price has respected this 5 minute supply zone, and there is a rejection of sorry there's a rejection of candlestick right there. So I finally got stopped out. Really, I got stopped out. Well, it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. So I'm not. It's fine. So I finally got stopped out on this trade, and it is very fine because I was actually expecting price to come and retest this 15 minute supply zone, right? So but the reason why I enter at this zone is that I see that price has already shifted from bullish to bearish. That is why I enter at this zone, but it is what it is. So I'll just refine my edge now and see if there is another opportunity to enter this trade. Okay.